questions or address comments throughout the program, but please put that in the chat section, and we will have a portion of the program towards the end that we could address any of those. So I also would like to give a special acknowledgement that warmly goes out to our supporters at the Rochester Area Community Foundation. It was 15 years ago that, in fact, Paula Carter, one of our founders, and Shirley King, along with others, met with Jennifer Leonard to find out what they had in mind was defined as a giving circle, a philanthropic way to work a mission. Her team, Jennifer's team, then helped us become who we are today. On the call today, Nancy already acknowledged, but I would like to acknowledge Maura Barron, senior philanthropic engagement associate, has been our point person at the foundation, and Sarah Berkowitz is our program officer, has continued to help us fine-tune our grant cycle. Also on the call today is a member as well as the executive director of ACT Rochester, Ann Johnson, who will be retiring soon, but through her course of this work, she has shared her knowledge on the data supporting our mission. The Community Foundation now supports 5 giving circles and brings us together on a biannual basis to collaborate on topics of growth, community issues, and operational challenges. We look forward to the transition of Jennifer to Simeon. We've already met with Simeon, and we look forward to working with him. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Melinda Andalina, and I chair the Rochester Women's Giving Circle along with 14 other members who comprise our leadership team. That does not account for all the other Giving Circle members who volunteer their time working on our standing committees. It continues to inspire me and our leadership team on the ability of our combined efforts for a single cause, a cause that is overwhelmingly hard to face individually, but can make a greater impact when combined with others. That's our circle. So thank you. Our Giving Circle model has continued to show us that our financial ability to make an impact on our mission can be sustained even when a pandemic occurs. This slide shows the fabulous group of 17 women who did our collective grant-making work this year. Like the other 15 years of grant-making committee work, this is how we have agreed to designate our money, this working group. Each year, the slate is wiped clean and we collect money in one year, and then the next year, the grant-making committee works our process, narrows down how the money will be distributed. So we need to thank these 17 individuals for doing our heavy lifting. It's a great experience, especially if you're new to the Giving Circle, Mrs. Friedlander, or new to grant making. It is a fine-tooth process. It is a wonderful program. So what did we uncover this grant cycle? Well, we've done it within a 15-year time period. This community of women, the Rochester Women's Giving Circle, has put over $2 million into Monroe County addressing our mission. That's amazing. And all of this has been done on a volunteer basis, and all done because we believe in the work of the organizations making a difference in the lives of women and girls in Monroe County. As I stated earlier, each year a grant cycle begins anew. This year we received 32 submissions requesting over $693,000. And we only had $185,000 to dole out, like Evita would. Eva Perone, I mean, excuse me. We were pleased that 12 of those applications were in from organizations that had not requested funding from us before. And the bonus is that 2 of those rose to the top, and we are now funding them this year. This year, we also began our work last July on looking at our applications and submissions through a racial equity lens. We continue to learn about that from our our Giving Circle Collaborative at the Community Foundation, as well as our national affiliation with Philanos. Next up shows another working committee, our partner committee. These magnificent members are the 2022 partners for each of the 8 agencies we are now funding. This is the committee that follows our money. That's one of our taglines. They also deliver the money when the program begins. And each member will be reaching out soon to their agency they're assigned to begin our mutually benefited process of watching how the program we are supporting is doing on their measured outcomes. It also gives us an opportunity to debrief with our full membership to help us all with a learning curve to get a better understanding of how barriers and changes happen for our population and our agencies. I thank you, members of the grant making committee. I thank you, grant partners. You are doing our heart and head work that keeps us passionate about our mission. So here are the logos of the 8 agencies we are supporting this grant year. I will now turn it over to the 8 agencies, one at a time, who will offer in their own voice while framing up for us a brief description of the program we are funding, including the number of women and girls that will be impacted, the importance of the program, share with us how the program addresses inequities, and what have you adopted during COVID that can still have positive outreach. And for those agencies who are repeaters to us, thank you, but tell us what you're doing a little differently in a program. So our first grantee up in alphabetical order is one of our new agencies that we are funding. It's Agape Haven of Abundance, and it's a community-based grassroots program. And you'll hear me say community-based a lot during this program. It's located in the Edgerton neighborhood, and that is the northwest quadrant of our city. The program is Urban Youth Empowerment Program, and it runs throughout the school year and over the summer, providing a safe place with caring adults and offering exposures to opportunities and activities. Our member, Nancy Bojack, will coordinate the partner relationship this year with Agape. And so I will now turn it over to Agape, and I believe it's Julia Oakley. You can unmute yourself, and you now have the floor for a condensed time period. Thank you.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And again, we would like to say thank you for the opportunity to partner with the Women Giving Circle. We are honored, and we know it is a privilege to have this additional support to enhance and expand the work that we are doing here in the Edgerton neighborhood. I am also joined by 2 of our administrative staff, and I'm trying to find them, but I can't see them with everyone that's attending. I would like to actually give them kudos, if anything, and acknowledgement, because they were the ones working behind the scene with the grant application and working with the staff to get all the pieces in place for us to be rewarded this opportunity. So currently we are servicing 21 females in our out of school youth empowerment program from ages 10 to 18. It is a year-round program. Our services are offered pretty much after school and when school is out of session. So during school break and our summer program, we do have a full day summer program that also supports a total of 30 participants in our program. The importance of our program, it is a community-based program. It is centralized to our neighborhood. The majority of our participants are not mobile, so it's in walking distance where they can walk safely back and forth to attend any programs or activities or events that we do offer. And I think that is the beauty, one of the beauty of our organization and where it's located. Parents are more comfortable to allow kids to attend and participate because it's central to them, right in the neighborhood. They can walk and parents can, if anything, have access to them if they need them during service hours. a youth empowerment program, especially in the urban neighborhood, is very important. It's actually vital to the productivity of our community. We know that ages 10 to 18 is a very risky age. It's a very fragile population who encounters trauma and just different stressors throughout the year. So having a program that is pretty much well-rounded, our focus is holistic. So we do have our support staff that we collaborate with, a multidisciplinary approach, partnering with community partners in the healthcare field and education to provide services and programs to support our youth throughout the year. So when we talk about how do we support the inequities in our community, I believe through our collaboration with community partners and having a multidisciplinary team on hand and on staff will grant access to our participants receiving the services they need in the event crisis or challenges arise. How did we adapt to the challenges for COVID? We adapted. Our doors remain open. We did not shut down. We were fortunate that we did not have to close our doors. And we realized how important our program and our services was vital to the community during COVID because they totally relied on receiving support from us. Through our programming, we do have a hunger relief program. So when we talk about access to resources, we are located in a food desert area where the majority of our participants aren't mobile. So access to food is very scarce in this area. So through our program and partnership, we are able to provide hunger relief to families, not only our youth, but to families where they're able to come and receive food, groceries and lunches throughout the year. And there's no criteria, there's no eligibility. So when we talk about inequities and bridging the gap, we realize that is crucial to this community and to this neighborhood. And then having a mental health support team on staff is important when we talk about raising the awareness and about the stigma of mental health in the Black community. So we do have a mental health support team on hand who was able to intervene in the time of crisis, not just for our youth, but also for family members, because we know, if a child is experiencing any trauma or crisis, they do have to, return back home. So just trying to create opportunities where both the child, the youth, and the family is able to access any support, healthcare support, education support, employment support. And we do that through our partnership and collaborating with other community partners.
Julia, we are so happy to be supporting your program. We also know that English can be the second language for the population you're serving, which also offers its own sense of barriers. So for providing a community-based program that can kind of shelter and provide numerous services is wonderful. We look forward to working with you. And thank you so much for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is our grantee, Cameron Community Ministries. And those of you who are watching Channel 13 News, I know yesterday, boy, was that being highlighted. They brought computers in because again, there's access issues where this community-based program is located, which is in the Lyle Otis neighborhood. And Cameron Community Ministries, we helped initiate the program back in 2014. Now, 8 years later, the respect and responsibility for girls is going strong. We continue to be grateful for this outreach program. And I'd like to turn it over to Miss Mills, Moldrena Vega, and thank our member Claudia Weber for serving as Cameron's partners. Ms. Mills, the floor is yours.
All right. Excuse me. So thank you guys so much. Sorry. All right. Thank you so much for the introduction. Yes, we are really, really excited to once again receive this grant. As you said, we have been kind of in partnership for about 8 years, and it's done some great things. I came on to Cameron about 3 years ago, I think about halfway there, so 3.5 years. But when I came in, this program had already been up and running, and it's something that now I oversee, and very just honored to be a part of it. So hello, everyone. My name is Mildrina Vega, but everyone calls me Mills for short, especially the kids. It's a lot easier to remember. So a little bit about our program. It is called R&R Group, or Respect and Responsibility Group. And those are two of our focuses in the group. So we have about 25 girls that participate between our two programs. So we have our K-6 program, after school program, and then we also have our Teen Center program, which has just kind of joined the ranks in the last 3 years. It's nice now to have kind of some of the younger kids interact with like our older kids and then just work together during this time. So it's really, really awesome. The importance of our program. So we provide, like I said, after school programming to a bunch of students in K-6, and then also in 7 through 12 now. This program is super important because in the Lau Otis neighborhood, we're seeing just a lot of violence. Right now, you know, we're seeing a lot of drug usage, and just things that have been going on for a pretty much a while, but they are very, very prevalent right now. So the program is really important because it allows us to kind of catch these girls at different target ages. So, you know, we're catching our 4th through 6th graders and our teens at a crucial time, and just being able to provide different programs to them. So we talk a little bit about, you know, like life skills, but also just about like how to become, you know, who you want to be. We focus on career goals, and we start with grades, right? So we're connected with the schools. I oversee our scholarship program. So we have kids that go to like Mercy High School, and I kind of reach out to their guidance counselors, teachers, and meet with them. We also have like different community partnerships. We have Girl Scouts, we have Wegmans. And then we also had a lot of different individuals coming in from organizations to talk to the girls this year, which has also been really, really nice. So we meet on Fridays for about an hour, hour and a half during our after school hours. And each month has like a different theme. So we'll talk about confidence one month, we'll talk about respect, we'll talk about responsibility, we'll talk about goal setting. We do etiquette classes and fitness and all those really, really great things. Sorry, I have my notes right here next to me. As far as inequalities, so Cameron is really big on empowerment, and we feel like knowledge is kind of the way to empower people so that they want to learn, they want to do something different than maybe what they know. So as you kind of just mentioned, like the technology lab is like really big. We just opened that. We're really excited to have the kids use it too. You know, it's kind of located alongside our K-6 program, but our teens plan on using it as well. And we have like partnerships with like the library, the Lyle Library, so that we're able to have some of their people kind of just come in and teach people in our community, teach the teens, teach the kids.
Thank you so much. You have done a great job, and I really appreciate your passion. I'm glad we just recently saw this news piece, because like there's a food desert, there's a technology desert too in certain parts of our city. So Ms. Mills, thank you for doing the work you're doing. You'll be hearing from us. We continue to give you a warm hug, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Next in our lineup is the Center for Teen Empowerment and the Young Women's Leadership and Employment Project. For 6 years, our Giving Circle has seen the results of this program and how it correlates to our mission in getting youth onto a path of self-sufficiency. I'd like to thank our member Joanne Giarni for being this year's partners for Center of Teen Empowerment. And I'd like to ask Shantara Randall to share a bit more about the program and to say hello and thank you to Doug Ackley for joining us today. The
Hey,
floor is
so
yours.
I'm sorry. Oh, I
The
thought
floor
somebody
is yours. Yeah.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Listen, I'm really excited. Hey, everyone. Thanks for having us. So my name is Shantara Mitchum. I am the director of Rochester programs, and Doug is also on, who is our executive director for Rochester. At Teen Empowerment, we are a youth organizing agency. We hire young people from our community to then create change on a grassroots level, but also on a systemic level in their community. And so when we bring young people in, we're allowing them to talk about the different issues that impact them on a day-to-day basis. They brainstorm those issues and they don't just discuss them, but they create initiatives, events, and action plans to be able to change those issues and how they impact them. We have about 11 young ladies that we work with within our organization. We are going through a hiring process right now for our summer project. So if you don't know, Teen Empowerment has 3 programs. We have our West Side site, which has been around for a very long time. We also have our East Side site that just opened up in Beechwood. And we also have our Clarissa Uprooted project that is going on right now. And so if you haven't been to see the exhibit, please go see the exhibit. The young people work really hard on that. And so we are going through our hiring process right now, specifically for our summer program, which is geared towards the Clarissa exhibit. Young people come into our sessions on a day-to-day basis. They brainstorm different issues. So this year, the focus has been racism, mental health, education, police brutality, and power. And that has been the focus of our young people. And so they have planned countless initiatives. They have collaborated with countless organizations and partners to be able to do events based on those issues and to try to also look at the different policies. And so the other thing that we do is provide them with a platform, get them at the tables, get them in the rooms with the people who are creating laws and policies that impact them on a day-to-day basis so that they can amplify their voices and so that they don't feel like tokens within these different programs. COVID-19 has been a challenge, but not so much this year. We are in person. We have been dedicated to being in person. We feel like we cannot do the community work and empower young people on the level we need to if we are not in person. And so we have strived to make sure young people are being tested every single week, that we are masking up so that they can be on the ground doing that work. So we're really excited and we're grateful for the partnership and the longstanding partnership that we've had with the Rochester Women's Giving Circle. And I want to turn it over to Doug if he has anything to add.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, thanks again. And I'll just say that it's been really amazing for our organization to watch the growth and leadership of young women come up into stronger leadership roles. Actually, Shan being one of them, who has actually had more roles in our organization than anybody ever, including a role on our advisory board at one point. But now she's our program director overseeing 2 sites and hopefully 3 at some point. And that's our plan, really, is to bring young people in and then provide opportunities for them to grow in the organization. We have a young woman by the name of Jayla who's running our newer East Side site this year. And as Shan was talking about, we're going to be doing some staff hiring for our summer project. And we have 3 young women who are also former youth organizers in the pipeline, 2 for part-time positions this summer and 1 for a full-time role throughout the year. So I think that in and of itself really has allowed young women to really grow in our organization from teenagers to adult leadership staff. And it's been amazing. So thank you all for the support.
Thank you, Doug, and thank you, Shantara. I don't know, I know I'm speaking for the majority of people on this call. You can feel your passion and excitement. Thank you for doing the work that you're doing. And Doug, love your Boston accent.
Yeah.
Just love it. Hey, we've got our 4th grantee presenting in the lineup.
Melinda,
Yes.
I just wanted to say I've been to the Clarissa Uprooted exhibit that Teen Empowerment's done, and it's excellent. It's well worth seeing. So I just wanted to add that. Thanks.
It's posted on our Facebook page too. We really liked it.
And the young people today, if anybody, well, has a chance after this, are going to be doing performances at the Liberty Pole outside of the art gallery space from 2 to 5. We're having a brief event down at Liberty Pole today to promote the exhibit and promote young people's voices. So that's actually happening in a couple hour or two.
Yeah, you got a full day. You got a full
Yeah,
day
right.
of Teen Empowerment.
We do. Thanks.
And thanks for breaking in there. Breaking news. That's great. Next up will be Barry Morgan from Greentopia to share with us about the program Green Visions, Growing Healthy Futures. This also is a community-based program in the Hosanna Joseph neighborhoods, and it's providing training, certification, and employment. Barry, the screen is yours.
Thank you. My name is Morgan Barry. For everybody, no, that's okay. It's all right. First and foremost, just want to say thank you to the Women's Giving Circle for once again believing in the Green Visions program and finding it worthy of the funding that we receive, because it makes an incredible difference for what we're able to do. In a nutshell, the Green Visions program, now going into year 10, provides 6 months of paid work experience, tangible work certifications, and a diverse training over the course of 6 months to work with 18 to 24-year-olds in the city of Rochester. We've got an acre of land in the Josana neighborhood, right off of J Street. And we've got an acre of land on Joseph Avenue, kitty corner from the future Jewish Performing Arts Center. And what we do is we plant tens of thousands of flowers over the course of the spring, teach our kids how to grow a garden from the ground up, teach them the science behind what exactly they're doing, teach them how to cut the flowers to encourage growth, and teach them how to arrange the flowers into bouquets, which we sell throughout the summer. On top of that, what we provide to our kids is, like I said, tangible work certifications that are resume building. So they get their 10-hour OSHA training, they get their landscape technicians training, financial empowerment training, public speaking training, and entrepreneurship training, so that when they start the program, they could have a resume that looks like a clean sheet of paper. And when they finish the program, they're walking away with 6 months paid work experience, references, certifications, direction, and skills that they can take on that are well beyond just farming and marketing, farming and agriculture, because our goal is not to make farmers, is to empower our resident youth to go on and pursue their educational and occupational goals. And like I said, now going into year 10, we've employed over 150 kids from our neighborhoods. This year, utilizing the grant from the Women's Giving Circle, we were able to hire 16 at-risk youth and 3 assistant managers, all of whom are graduates of the program. Of the 16 hires, 8 young women, and of the assistant managers, 1 is a full-time site manager, Catherine Davila, who is in charge of the team right now when it's 100 degrees outside and nobody wants to work. She's there making sure that everybody's work with direction and focus. COVID has been incredibly impactful on the entire not-for-profit community, but and for us, no different, but it didn't slow us down. So what we did was adjusted. So like I said, we sell our flowers, but we've also tried to diversify our revenue stream by creating new products, such as our candle line and our clothing line, which is bringing in different revenue streams to make sure that we always can run our program. We built an outdoor classroom, which we utilize to provide open air trainings, but which the community additionally is able to utilize to provide training to the larger community, not just for us. And we are currently developing a winter program to pair with our summer program so that we're providing year-round programming, year-round access to our assets as we redevelop or rebuild our home base right on campus. So as we get into the summer, I would encourage anybody here, come through our garden, 188 Whitney Street. It's the prettiest garden in the city once to about mid-July. We've been working since late May. So with the majority of the foundational work's done. And our garden on Joseph Avenue is going to be just this beacon of light with 10,000, I think we planted 15,000 sunflower seeds last week. And they're
Wow.
all about quarter, I don't know, this tall right now, but they're getting going.
Morgan.
And yeah, that's it, I guess.
Morgan, thank you so much. And I'm sorry, Barry or Morgan, but apologize for that. But thank you so much for doing the work you're doing. And everyone should go for a walk in the flowers and stop and smell them. We'll get up there. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Laura Kahn will be your partner this year, and she'll be reaching out to you. And thank you for what Greentopia is doing for our community. It's unique, it's special, and it's working and growing. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to congratulate again the Judicial Process Commission and the Women's Legal Action and Employability Project that has support services helping the justice-involved women overcome barriers to employment. Our Giving Circle member will be Barbara Huffsmith, and she will partner with JPC this year. And Director Susan Porter is here from JPC to present her program. Susan, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you so much. And we are, we're so grateful for your continuing support. And I do want to just briefly mention a little more detail about what we do, but we help break down barriers for people that have been involved in the justice system. And specifically, this program is for about 200 women, and we help them get employment. And the way that we help them get employment is that we empower them with the knowledge about their record. We teach them about their employment rights, which are at least partially protected in New York State. And we help them understand, clean up their record, and then make an application for a certificate of relief or good conduct or sealing. The exciting new things that we've been involved in this year, we've really, I think, taken sort of a quantum leap in terms of our funding, and we've been able to obtain two-year grants to grow this project. And that has come from ESL and from the Marie and Joseph Wilson Foundation. So that helps with our sustainability. The other piece that helps with our sustainability is that we have added new partners, including the Monroe County Public Defender's Office, and a group that some of you may not know about, but should know about, called the Center for Community Alternatives. They are a statewide organization that works with people in recovery, and they have a very strong systemic justice advocacy piece in Albany. So they've been pushing for clean slate, which is a game changer for our clients. And what that does is essentially for some of our clients, it's going to make, basically take the record away and enable many more people to much more easily gain employment. A lot of you don't know that New York State regulates employment in the healthcare fields, in the teaching fields, in the human service fields. And again, the certificate of relief for good conduct or sealing is required in order to be a licensed worker in those fields. So our services are essential. The majority of people that we work with are Black and brown people. We have a multiracial staff. We've just added a woman who is Jamaican and who has joined our staff. Yesterday, we hired an African-American man who is a client. So, it's been, I would say it's been a very good year. And we've really hit some milestones in terms of sustainability. We extensively pushed Albany, methodically talking to all of our elected officials, seeking a large grant with the expanded partnerships. And we still don't know for sure if we're in the budget. We don't think we are, but we're still optimistic. And, you know, if it's not this year, it's next year, because I think there's some real awareness. This is an essential service that breaks down barriers and really empowers people to move their lives forward in the field of employment, careers, and self-sufficiency. I think that's all I have.
Susan, that's a wonderful summary, and unnecessary behind the scenes work that's incredibly impactful once that certificate of release and that ceiling is regarded. So thank you. Continued work. We praise you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Unity is next up in the program Project Independence at Healthy Moms. And this delivers job training and placement program customized for each participant. Our member Diane Newhouse will be the partner for this program, and that we've helped fund since 2015. And I think it's Mary Ann Brady who's here from Healthy Moms. The mic is yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So Project Independence is a program under the Healthy Moms umbrella that serves pregnant and parenting women with a child under the age of 4. The goal of Project Independence is to empower women with the knowledge, skills, and tools to become self-sufficient for themselves and their families. In order to reach self-sufficiency, the women need to gain skills and education to reach their full potential. And our program provides the experience through job training within our program and supports needed to further their education. And they do so by working closely with our career counselor. And our program provides the experience through the job training within our program and supports needed to further their education. So we seek out natural opportunities for learning, as well as providing that job training within a secured space, which is our children's clothing closet. Excuse me. And this year, we are hoping to serve 65 women in the community. And we're currently serving over 50 within the Project Independence program. So I'm pretty sure we're going to reach that goal this year. When moms begin their journey with Project Independence, they're not sure where the road will lead. So we not only help them to realize what they want to do, and they kind of feel like they want to do more than they're doing, but they don't know what that exactly is. So when we start to look at goals, they begin to realize that they're capable of much more. And they set the goals for themselves, which is customized to each mom. And these are things that they only once dreamt of that they could do. So our program also treats the whole person. So alongside our job training program, we're able to offer mental health services. We have supports in-house from community health workers, as well as help from care managers. And that helps to bridge the gap when it comes to food insecurities or housing problems, and connections with other community resources, as well as healthcare. And we also promote being an active member in the community. So when we think about COVID-19 and how it shook so many of the lives within our community, it especially hindered the women and children in our community. So many families were isolated, right, in their homes. And some still are because of that fear of, this pandemic and how it will affect their families. So we took the effects of the pandemic and how it affected our participants. And we use technology as well as just like most of the communities did. And we began scheduling virtual visits, and we connected them with other resources in the community who were doing the same thing. So some of our moms were able to, seek out educational programming to help them to attend classes. to gain their high school equivalency. Some actually attended parenting classes online through another community resource that we partnered with. And we would help them to complete job searches or develop resumes online with a career counselor. And we also adapted with the barriers that were set above before us to serve our participants. So I'm saying a lot. So we're also excited to share that Healthy Moms is expanding our programming to Genesee County. So we're hoping to replicate the Project Independent program out there as well. And we're going to be closely working with a project, that's coming to the St. Mary's campus, and that is to bring a food pantry. And that will also provide other opportunities for moms in our program to gain a whole different set of skills. So that's pretty much what's going on with Healthy Moms in the Project Independence program. And I just want to say thank you to the Women's Giving Circle for really believing in our mission and, supporting the women in our community to reach their goals and dreams. And a lot of this wouldn't be possible without the amazing support from the Women's Giving Circle. So thank you so much.
Mary Ann, thank you. I appreciate that acknowledgement. And I want to say thank you for the good work you continue to do. We've learned that it used to be the child could only up until age 2 or 3, but now we've expanded to 4 because that's big. That's big.
Yeah.
So you're closing a gap there.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mary Ann.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Next up is the Urban League on the program, and it's called Families in Transition. And Urban League was one of our newbies last year, and I'm pleased to say that we're going to reintroduce the program to you. And also our fabulous member, Marjorie Perlman, will partner with Urban League. And now I think it's Sarah Appo from Urban League. The mic is yours.
Yes, thank you so much. Hello, everyone. We are so glad to be a part of the Rochester Women's Giving Circle. And much of our praise for obtaining this grant goes directly to Ann Byer and her assistant, Sally, who worked hard to put the proposal together in order for us to get the grant approved for our agency. Yes, we refer to our program as Project Families in Transition, which is a program that focuses on empowering women to enhance their knowledge of employment gains. The program is designed to provide case coordination services, which links participants to internal and external classes or workshops, as well as counseling services that will encourage education and enhance their skills for employment. Additional skills are primarily provided by our preventive caseworkers here at the Urban League, who have been trained. They've been trained to help families in crisis and assist with obtaining stability, which includes improving self-care, identifying their strengths, their own individual strengths, focusing on their own educational needs, addressing any legal activity, and increase their income. These things we focus on first before actually engaging them into the actual job trainings and things of that such. To help reduce some of the barriers. The caseworkers support the participants in the home or virtually when needed by providing skills that include financial literacy, job readiness, and digital literacy. We serve at least 20 participants at a time and have a really good success rate. For example, 6 individuals out of the 20 have actually obtained employment as a result of our services, and others have engaged in educational training and job readiness training, and many of them continue to keep in contact with us. The program also addresses inequalities directly and indirectly through the services we provide. Our program is unique in that we go directly into the home to address the individual's needs and issues, concerns, such as how we address parenting skills. We talk to the individuals about how they're going to feed their child, how they're going to maintain or even obtain housing, and how are they going to pay their rent. We connect them to services within the community that will help them financially. The since we've been funded by the Rochester Women's Giving Circle, we have been able to address some of the families or individuals' immediate needs, like right off the bat. For example, to provide transportation, such as bus passes, to get them to their interviews or appointments, provide them with the means to wash their clothes or to get their hair done and prepare for interviews, or even feel comfortable and confident with themselves and feel presentable as they go to their job trainings. The funding has assisted with reducing many of the challenges that the individuals and families have faced and help to reduce some of the problems and help them to focus more on their goal achievement versus their concerns and being overwhelmed with their day-to-day life. I have to say that COVID has not negatively affected our delivery of service because we have been able to provide the service also virtually for those who have either tested positive or have had COVID symptoms. So that's basically it for us in a nutshell.
That's not basic. That's a lot. That's deep. And I thank Urban League. And also they were involved at Cameron yesterday too in the news. So it was great to see Urban League with Cameron. Thank you very, very much. We look forward to hearing the progress of Families in Transition, Sarah. Thanks. We've come to our last grantee, and I'm thrilled to say that our two bookends, Agape and now number 8, are brand new agencies we are funding. I'd like to share and introduce you to Villa of Hope and their work-based learning, helping young women obtain career readiness training. Our dear member, Laurel Pace, will partner with Villa of Hope this year. And now let me share the floor with Jonathan Mahar Zayas, correct? It's yours.
Thank you, Melinda, and great pronunciation of my last name. Usually most people mess it up, so as well. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jonathan. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for Villa of Hope. We are so grateful to be a new grant recipient for the Rochester's Women Giving Circle as well, just to be able to get the necessary support to support our work-based learning program. The program is an innovation program at our special education school that provides career readiness and leadership development training for students based in our school. We serve about 60 students per year, but we've served over 100 students some year as well, depending on the year as well. And then half of the programs are young women. We do career readiness training, financial counseling, career support. We provide paid internship locations in our community, in our campus, and this funding support will provide help with those minimum wage internship payments and supplies for the program as well. The goals are to support young women with mental health and behavioral health and trauma needs and getting them to self-sufficiency. We also integrate the academic learning environment as well with the vocational education. And we're hoping to create a pipeline for local employers here to have emerging ready talent for us as well. During COVID, we've certainly adapted our school, made sure we stayed open as much as we can. We adapted to a quad model to make sure students had their specific needs. We stayed with safety precautions as well, and helped adapt with virtual and hybrid and remote options for our students, just to make sure their needs were met as they progressed as well. And as we know, there's a mental health crisis going on in our nation, and anything to help support mental health, especially for individuals from our Black and Brown communities, to help overcome barriers and help navigate the systemic trauma that many of them are facing, will help them overcome and kind of work towards advancing their health outcomes as well. And I just want to quickly introduce, we have our new work-based learning team, Kurt and Mary Lee. I'd love to turn it over to them to share a little bit about themselves and what they're most excited about for next work-based learning program.
Thank you, Jonathan. So I'm Kurt and I'm the work-based learning supervisor, and with me is, you want to introduce yourself?
Mary Lee Almakinder.
So one of the things I personally am really excited about in this upcoming school year is going to be a pretty big overhaul and restructuring of how we do our work-based education. We're going to be implementing a new multi-level program where each level is going to be kind of really focusing in on different elements of pre-employment, job readiness, career exploration, financial literacy, and independent living skills. So very excited for that.
And I'm considered the new Paul Fromm. I'm going to be taking over Paul's position. And with that, I'm excited to get back to the internships and stuff that was kind of set aside because of COVID and get these kids back into those programs.
That's terrific. Thank you, Kirk and Mary Lee. I really appreciate it. And we have felt your enthusiasm from receiving our donation, or our grant, excuse me. So thank you. We'll continue to highlight your stuff as you highlight what the Giving Circle is doing as well. Thank you. We've got another slide, and I just want to ask if there are any questions, and I don't see anything in the chat. So let's just keep moving, and I'll tell you what we're going to be looking at going forward. Our next steps. We want to grow our membership. We are poised with standing committees and active members, and we are able to take on more women in our circle. So please talk us up. We are always open to having lunch and learns at places of employment and/or nice neighborhood gatherings to say this is what the Giving Circle is, not a high pressure sale, but just saying what we're doing and what we've accomplished. And would you be interested in joining? We continue to work with our grantees and our community partners as we address and keep in mind racial inequities. We're learning, I told you, from our National Giving Circle Alliance with Philanos. It's a powerful program we've been tapped into, and we've tapped into. We're exploring working with other local, our giving circles from the Community Foundation, and we are learning about and want to explore further the topic of trust-based philanthropy models. So with that, that's what we're doing. I wanted to say thank you again to our grantees, our members, and our community partners for us being successful in this grant cycle. I've got great news. We will have an in-person event this September 15th, starting at 4:30 at Genesee Valley Park at the Roundhouse. It will be rain or shine. We will be outside, and we will celebrate the Giving Circle and what we've done and our prior leaders. Be on the lookout for our summer circular. Our communication team have been compiling that circular, so you'll be able to share that with your friends and neighbors and family. And I look forward to seeing you all in person very, very soon. Want to thank the members for contributing today, our working members. I want to say again, thank you to the grantees, your passion for doing the work you're doing. It's so impressive. Thank you. Have a great day. Stay hydrated if you're outside. And thank you very much. Bye.